Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Grove Homestead. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Cassidy. How you doing? Yeah. Good morning. Alright, so let's go ahead and just get jumping in here with 2 feet. This is Cosette. Some of our returning viewers will remember her from when we picked up one of our milk cows, Callie, from Texarkana. Cosette was the 2-week-old calf that came with her, and Cosette is now due to have her own calf. She's actually past her due date now, so I have her in the stanchion right now. I'm working on training her to come up. She's doing really well with that. So she's getting a grain ration to prepare her for lactation. There's a very split opinion on if you should grain them before they calve, and what I have decided to follow is that instead of suddenly shocking their system even more after giving birth, if you just start feeding them a little bit of grain a couple weeks or so before they're due, it's not going to really that negatively impact like the size of the calf. It's not going to get huge or anything like that. So she's been getting a little bit of grain to train her to come up, and then I can do her physical checks. So we're going to do that. So we're checking her ligaments, which, excuse me, madam, they're still there. They're definitely loosened because there's a dip here now instead of being straight across. But they're definitely still there. Her udder is looking good. She's got some edema starting to form back here, but it's still pretty loose. So don't think we're having a calf today. Cosette, you were due like 4 days ago. Killing me. While she eats, let's pop outside real quick and kind of catch you up on what's going on here, how we're going to approach the fact that we haven't been on YouTube for over a year now. So it has been over a year since we last uploaded, and a large part of that is because I had too much on my plate. Something had to give. YouTube had to be that thing. I'm still pretty overwhelmed, but I really wanted to try and get back to this, so I'm giving it a shot. As far as like catching you up on things that have happened, we've had losses, we've had new arrivals, we've had a lot happen in the last year, and I really think that trying to catch you up on everything that happened in a year all at once is really gonna kind of bog it down as far as one video. So my approach is that I'm going to kind of fill in gaps as we go, just continuing on rather than trying to make a single video that's going to catch you up on everything, just because so much has happened. There's no way I can possibly fit it all in one video. There's no way I can possibly remember everything to put in one video. So I think the best way to do it is just to kind of keep on trucking and just fill in the gaps. The first thing that I'm going to update you guys on while Cosette is eating her grain is that we have had a massive building project here right across from my cow barn, and that is that we actually tore down our old male goat barn this spring, and we're building a new barn in its place, and it's huge, it's incredible, it's going to be amazing for the business of our farm as well as the functionality and the running of our farm. So this is our big cow barn. It's clearly not the new barn. But right across the driveway is our new barn. This barn has felt like it's taking forever. The siding actually it's not even fully finished. Like there's a couple of pieces that they were short on as far as like trim pieces. So we're still waiting on some things to come in. Okay, so this barn is about twice the size of the old barn. We actually leveled out the hill that it's sitting on now. I mean, not the whole hill. It's a big project. It took a lot of dirt, guys. But we got it all leveled out. This is the new stall that we have that's going to be split into 2 stalls so that I have 2 pens over here. David has actually just last night put up this fence right here. And clearly isn't done yet because this is gonna wrap around here. But this entire hillside has been fenced for goats. It's gonna be awesome. And I mean, it's not just on this side of the barn. It continues all the way around the back and keeps going all the way up to basically the beginning of our natural spring. It will keep the cows out of it, and goats don't like water that much, so the goats won't destroy it either. Now this giant structure is not just for goats. It is a portion of the purpose for this barn. Here, this window is an office for David because David has a new job since you knew. And he is now able to work remotely from home 4 out of the 5 work days a week. So he is currently working in the basement, which it's working fine. It's not ideal. It's not fantastic. So if he can have an office up here, like, it's gonna be great. So that's his office door. And then when you come around the corner of the building, this window is mine. And this door goes into a new dairy processing room. I am getting out of my kitchen and I will be able to process all of our milk, our dairy products. All of that stuff will have its own space, not in my kitchen. The milk fridge, the milk tank, because we got a bulk tank, and I'm so excited because honestly my kitchen just doesn't have space for all the things. So it's gonna be amazing. But that's still not all. Then we have this giant roll-up door. The door's not in place yet, but this room is going to be a meat processing space. So it's tall enough for us to get the tractor in when hanging up something as large as a cow. It's gonna have a hoist in it. Like, it's gonna have meat saws, it's gonna have a cold room. It's going to be a space that is dedicated to the processing of our meat animals. And we're so excited to have that and not have to be processing outside in the dirt, in the cold. Like, it's gonna be fantastic. And then to wrap it up, there's a smaller space that is going to be additional feed storage as well as a brooder room for in the springtime when we are hatching all of our copious numbers of birds. They will have a place to go. That's again not my basement. So it's gonna be fantastic. We are so excited about getting this barn operational. Now, I don't know what the timeline is going to be as far as us actually moving into it, because as you can see, the framing is still up. It's not finished. But the goal, at least by the end of the year, is to get power to it. As soon as there's power to it, then a lot of the stuff can move forward as far as the functionality. It already has plumbing. The dairy room will have to have things like the sink put in, all that stuff. But meat processing, as soon as it's got power, that's ready to go. All right, popping in to check on Cosette, and it looks like she is just about finished. So I think our timing worked out perfect. So next up is Callie, Cosette's mom. That's Cassidy mooing in the background because she wants her grain. Callie here, you'll notice she looks maybe a little bit rough, and that is because she has been a diva. So she has decided that she is now the pickiest cow ever. She decided that she didn't want to eat our dairy ration anymore. All the other cows are doing great on it. They're happy, they're healthy. Callie decided she wouldn't eat it. So it has been months of tweaking her diet, of trying to get her to eat something, trying adding molasses, we've tried everything, and she's been totally healthy otherwise. So I finally ended up getting her, she eats a completely different ration from the rest of the cows because she eats a commodity pellet with some added cracked corn, soybean meal, and chopped alfalfa because she won't eat alfalfa pellets. Like, she is so picky. So finally found something that she would eat, but it was not enough protein for her to still be in milk. And with our dairy business, I actually really needed her to stay in milk, and we were trying to get her bred back because it's really harder to get a dry cow to breed back. So she is confirmed pregnant, and I finally formulated a ration for her that she will eat that has enough protein for her, and she is gaining weight finally. She has probably gained, oh gosh, since her last taping, she's gained like 25 pounds, but since we started, let's see, the lowest measurement that I had her at, as far as recorded, was 833 pounds. She's gained almost 100 pounds since then. So she's doing great. We're on the road to getting her looking much better. And she does look better. She just still looks terrible. So, and the winter hair is growing in. And I already think that kind of makes them look a little shabby. But she is doing much better. She's just going to look a little bit rough while she's putting that weight back on. But we are getting there, and I'm thrilled, and I was really worried about having to deal with culling my favorite cow, because she's my favorite cow. Don't tell the others. Callie's done milking. I was going to introduce you to Cassidy, but she left. Cassidy and Cosette are good friends, and Cosette got her grain, so she was done and she left. She is a heifer who is coming up on her first birthday. She is Claire's daughter. Claire had her last November, and she's doing great. She's just about old enough. About a year is when I usually will breed them for the first time, but she is not going to be bred right away because I'm not interested in her calving in the summer. So I'm going to delay her first breeding just a little bit so that she actually has a fall calf next year. So she's super cute, she's super sweet, but she has left the building. So we're gonna bring in Claire next to get her milked. Most of you may remember that Claire was our first milk cow. She's still here. She's actually not going to be here for a whole lot longer. We have decided to actually cut her from our program because we had a lot of issues with her udder last year and this year, and we ended up actually having to kill one of her quarters this year, which means that we had to basically chemically make sure that that quarter could no longer make milk for it. Because it was always having problems. She was constantly flaring up with swelling, mastitis. Like, it was just, and I did everything that I could before. Like, I was doing natural treatments, I was doing tea infusions, I was doing everything that I could that would not pull her out of the milking string. So we were milking that quarter separately and dumping it. We were doing natural treatments. I mean, we did also treat her with antibiotics for mastitis, which only kept it clear for like a week after. Like, it was ridiculous how fast the inflammations came back. So it was time. So we killed the quarter. And then we decided that we were going to go ahead and just no longer milk Claire after this lactation. And we actually found a place for her. There's a story of one of our cows who we don't own. She's here on a free lease because there was a whole emergency situation, which I'll fill you in on that later. But basically this lady kept her first cow for 20 some odd years, and her pet cow passed away earlier this year. And I was going round and round because we were going to butcher Claire, and it was breaking my heart. I couldn't decide where we were going to do it, if we were going to do it ourselves and just have her last day be here, if we were going to take her to a butcher. Like, it was really, really hard for me. And so I finally just went ahead and reached out to this lady and said, hey, do you want another pet cow? And she has agreed to take Claire as a retired pet cow. Do I expect this to be the case with every cow that I decide to cull from my program? No. But Claire holds a very extra special place in my heart as my very first cow. She taught me everything about how to milk a cow, how to take care of a milk cow. Like, she has been my teacher, and so I just couldn't do it. So it's definitely not what I recommend for most people, but if I have an opportunity, then I'm going to take it. So this is Pearl. If any of you have met her, she wasn't here very long before we ended up taking our hiatus from YouTube. So she's now been here for a year. She actually just calved here a few weeks ago, and we still have her baby. But she's one that I don't trust enough to be distracted while I'm cleaning her udder. So we are not going to chat while I do her. Pearl is not a Jersey. She is a Swedish red and white. She's got attitude to go with it. Now this is Flopsy. As far as we understand, she's a Jersey. She's just a little bit more along in the legs, so it's possible that she's maybe got some Holsteins somewhere in the lineage. But she's also one that has been here for about a year. We got her from the same place as we got Pearl. And we got them fairly close together, but not at the same time. Flopsy here has been in milk since September of last year. She calved on Labor Day last year. And it was not the plan that she would be in milk for over a year, but she was bred back and slipped the calf, which means that she miscarried, and it was early. And then at that point we delayed breeding her because it would have put her due in the dead of winter, and we did not want to have babies in the dead of winter. So she is bred back now, but she's not due until April. So as long as she's willing to give us milk, we're gonna go ahead and do that. So she's not at peak production, but she's still giving a few gallons every day. And she's a really easy cow to work with. There's nothing left. Hello, big lady. This is Clover. Alright, now I know you guys haven't met Clover because she came to us in January of this year. Now, she was the emergency situation cow that we had this year. So the way that it pans out is that her original owner passed away and left his livestock to his neighbor. His neighbor used to milk cows, but she no longer had functioning equipment and was not interested in milking cows anymore. This cow had never been milked before, but 2 weeks after her first owner passed away, she calved, and the calf did not make it. And she was in labor for, I think, 2 days before the new owner could even catch her to pull the calf because she didn't trust her. We did not know each other personally. I actually got a phone call from another neighbor of hers who I had met at a book sale randomly, and we had been chatting, and I said that I milked cows. And so this was now months after that, and she called me and said, "Hey, you milk cows, right?" I said yes, and she asked if I wanted another one, and I said, well, I would need to know some more information, and basically connected me with Clover's owner, and she gave me the rundown on what was going on. She said, I just don't want this cow to get mastitis. She needs to be milked. And she happens to live like only 5 minutes away from here. So I went and I looked at her, and she's a gentle giant. So she was in a stall at the time. She let me handle her udder. She let me, because like I said, this cow had never been milked before. So I was a little bit leery of taking on a cow that was so large that had never been milked before. She previously nursed her last calf for 2 years. And so we took her on. Oh. Good girl. Come on. Hup, hup. Good girl. Good girl. Some of you may recall that David was working on reviving the old milking parlor in this barn. She is why. She's why I'm not currently working in there, because she physically will not fit in that room. So we are where we are now until she dries up, which is going to be soon. I'm down to milking her once a day, and she will be going with Claire to her owner, and she's going to be taking Claire on. So she's a big gal. She made a good amount of milk for us, and but I'm ready to wind her down. She has a terrible habit. Most of the time, since I've knocked her down to once a day, it's been much better. But most of the time, when she was in being milked, she would poop. Fortunately, it was always after her machine was taken off, but it was always before I could let her out. And she's a large animal. She makes a large amount of poo. And so it was just, I was so over it. And actually, the wall is painted from her efforts. This is Clover's mural. All of her hard work, because she's so large. And if I open the gate or the stanchion for her to be let out and she starts letting loose, that's where some of this came from. This came from her coughing. Just coughing on a little bit of dust while she was pooping, and it poof. So, yeah, I'm kind of over it. So once Clover is gone, we can get back on track with making our changes to our milking regime. Clover's mural painted wall is eventually going to be changed into a bunk feeder so that I can be feeding the cows alfalfa hay. But currently I do not have a way to do that in any kind of a way that resembles something sanitary, because anywhere that I put hay for them right now, they're just gonna poop in it. So they're getting alfalfa pellets for now, twice a day. The ones who will eat it are very happy about it, so it's working for us for now. That's it for milking cows. Whew. Now, I gotta take this milk back to the house, get it filtered, get it in the tank. But we still milk goats. I actually have Audrey temporarily taking them over while we are in this interim period of, we've got 2 cows that we're going to be drying up soon. I've got another cow that's about to calve, which is Cosette. Like, there's just so much in the air right now with the cows, and it takes so long to milk them because Clover and Claire both are slow milkers. They take forever to milk. So right now milking the cows just takes so much time that Audrey is awesome. Always has been. She's 13 now. She is milking the goats twice a day for me, and it right now is the crazy breeding season. But all of that stuff I think we're gonna get to in the next video. And then there's someone here who I'm gonna have to introduce you to before I close out this video.
Oh goodness, Ronnie. Are you enjoying that nap in the sun? Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Ronnie. This is Ronnie. He's a 6-month-old Texas healer. Hi, sweetie. I know you're just a baby.
So a Texas healer is actually a cross between a healer and an Australian shepherd. And he is technically 75% healer and 25% Australian shepherd, but he's been awesome. He's still just a baby, but basically he is Reagan's new partner in crime. So he will be helping her patrol the farm, keeping all the nighttime critters away. Things like smaller things like foxes, raccoons, and things like that. But we decided that Reagan needed a partner because she's not that large of a dog. And so if she got into a fight with anything, she doesn't have just a huge chance. So we figured at least if we had a partner for her, she'd do a little better in those odds. So, and then Gideon, of course, is our Aussie who, he's inside at night. He's outside during the day, but he's our pet. So he's in the house at night. But the farm is still busy, bustling as always, full of life. I mean, there's a lot more cows out there than just the milk cows, but we'll be probably introducing you to many of them as time goes on. But I'm so glad to be back, you guys. I've really missed this. I haven't had time for it, but I missed it. So I'm really hoping to get back into it. I'm not gonna promise any sort of a regularity with releasing videos, but I'm gonna do my best because I enjoy doing it. So I think that's it for now. As always, this is your country nerd with a goat herd saying that you can grow where you're planted.